Hello, guys, and well, tomorrow is already the draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So I've got all of the countries here in their respective pots. I'm going to get to why there's 5 sections here in a bit, but I should preface by saying that this is a mock draw, obviously, because, some people, they're not going to understand. And what we're going to have to do here is put, as we can see here, the North American teams, the hosts, have already been drawn into what groups they're going to be in. And I don't exactly have so much space on this bed, so I will make do of what I have. And we're going to draw our teams over here. So Mexico is in Group A, Canada is in Group B, which is my home nation, rooting for them, and the United States in Group D. And as for why there is 5, well, these countries over here, these, I believe, 6, we don't know for sure, but I predict that these will be the 4 nations that will be qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through their respective playoffs. For Iraq and the DR Congo, it would be through the Intercontinental Playoffs. And Denmark, Poland, Turkey, and Italy will be qualifying from the UEFA zone. So, instead of making them lines, actually, that's probably a good idea to save space. Instead of making them lines, we're going to put them into little batches like this. We're going to group these pot formations. So we actually might just put the countries over here now. Yes. Okay, we're going to start off the draw with the pot 1 teams. There's no bias here because there really shouldn't be. This is a mock draw, so there shouldn't be any bias here. Argentina would be going into Group C, just as they were in 2022, actually. Spain in Group E, as they were in 2022. France will go into Group F. F for France. Group G will have England. Group H will have Brazil. And since there's an expansion of the World Cup, there is more than just the regular 8 groups. There are now 12. So Germany will go into Group I. Portugal will go into Group J. Belgium into Group K. And the Netherlands will be drawn into Group L. So this is so far your World Cup groups, according to the mock draw. I believe this is the second pot over here. This is third pot, yes. So, my bad. Let's draw the second pot. Croatia is going into Group A, and since there is no existing conflict, which means well, this is a bad example because it's Croatia, but if Ecuador was drawn with Argentina, that can't happen because Ecuador is from the same confederation as Argentina, so we'd have to move over Ecuador as an example. But there is none such conflict between Croatia and Mexico, and I know throughout this video I'm going to miss at least one. I usually do, so please correct me if I missed one. So Canada will be drawing with South Korea. Honestly, South Korea is a good team, of course, but considering when your options are Uruguay, Switzerland, Croatia, South Korea is probably your best bet. Ecuador does go with Argentina. See, that was completely random, actually. I am not controlling this at all, so Ecuador will move over to the group with the United States of America here. Argentina will be getting Iran instead. Morocco will be drawn with Spain. That was a matchup that happened in 2022. We all know how that ended up. So Austria and France. So the thing with here is 2 European teams, only 2 can be drawn together because there are 12 groups and 16 European teams. So that can happen 4 times in this mock draw here. Switzerland will be drawn in England, and that is the second time that can happen. Brazil will be drawn with Australia. Australia, probably the best team that a pot 1 team would want, because Australia, I mean, they are the weakest team, literally, in that pot by FIFA rankings. So, I mean, what are you going to say? Germany will be drawn with Senegal. Portugal with Japan. Belgium with Colombia. And the Netherlands will be drawn with Uruguay. Pot 3 here. This is the Cote d'Ivoire, not Ireland. I got to remind myself that. I don't think Ireland will qualify. I hope they do, but I don't think so. Qatar will be drawn into Group A with Mexico and Croatia, and there is no problem with that happening. Algeria will be drawn with Canada and South Korea. And as a Canadian, I don't like that. I think Algeria is a very strong team and definitely can beat us. Ivory Coast here, the Cote d'Ivoire is drawn with Argentina and Iran here, and that is perfectly fine. Egypt will be drawn in with the United States and Ecuador. Spain, Morocco, it can't be Tunisia, but it can be Paraguay, and that's who it is going to be. France and Austria will be receiving South Africa into their group here. It feels like there's not enough flags. I think there might be, though. England and Switzerland will be drawn with Uzbekistan. And Uzbekistan is not a nation you want in your group. They are better than their FIFA ranking of, 50 would tell you. 50 is not a bad place, actually, but I think they're stronger than 50th. Norway will be drawn with Brazil and Australia. Brazil's been weaker in this qualification. If they keep that up, Norway will definitely take advantage of that. Norway could probably top that group. Panama will be drawn with Germany and Senegal. Saudi Arabia will be drawn with Portugal and Japan, but they can't because Japan and Saudi Arabia play in the same confederation. Saudi Arabia will be moved over to Belgium and Colombia's group. Tunisia, an African team, will take their spot in that group, and that is perfectly okay. And Scotland can indeed be drawn with the Netherlands and Uruguay. So, as we go into pot 4, we do have quite the slight problem. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I am pretty sure that there is a requirement that every single group has at least one European country. There are some that don't have a European country, groups B, C, and D. So, we have 4 countries from Europe. Those are the playoff countries: Turkey, Denmark, Italy, and Poland. So 3 of them will be drawn here to group B, C, and D. Canada, South Korea, Algeria will get Turkey. And as a Canadian, I don't want Turkey. Turkey would be bad. Denmark goes to Argentina, Iran, and the Cote d'Ivoire. And the United States, Ecuador, and Egypt will be getting Italy. That is a very good group for the Italians. No disrespect to the other teams, of course, but Italy is one of the best teams in the world. New Zealand is not, and they will be playing Mexico, Croatia, and Qatar if this mock draw were to come true. Spain, Morocco, and Paraguay will play the Democratic Republic of Congo, but DR Congo and Morocco play in the same confederation, so they will be moved over. But again, South Africa is in that same confederation, so once more, they'll be moved over to England and Switzerland's group alongside Uzbekistan. Iraq will now be drawn in Democratic Republic of Congo spot here. In Group E and Group F, we'll have Haiti. And we just have enough for the rest of the groups here. Group is that H? Yes. Cape Verde from Africa, and that is possible. Germany will be getting Poland. Oof, Germany and Poland together. If you know history, that's not very ideal. You don't want Germany and Poland together because that doesn't end well. Ghana, but they can't play Tunisia because they're in the same confederation, so they'll be moved over to Saudi Arabia. And actually, we know the rest of the groups because Jordan can't go in Portugal's group because of Japan, so they will be moved over to the final group in the Netherlands, and Curacao will be drawn in this group with Portugal. So these are your groups of the 2026 World Cup mock draw. Obviously, this is not entirely what's going to happen, but it could be. This is what my hand decided what's going to happen. I'm very excited to see the draw tomorrow. They put it at a really bad time, Eastern time, 12 o'clock. I don't think I'll be able to watch all of it. I hope I'm going to be able to watch most of it. But I'm very excited to see where my national team is. Well, obviously, they're going to be in Group B, but I wonder who's going to be in their group. I don't like South Korea, Algeria, and Turkey. You know, a nation that loses to Guatemala isn't exactly going to beat these kinds of teams. I'm hoping for, Australia, South Africa, and Curacao. We can't get Curacao. New Zealand. We can beat those teams. We can't beat Turkey, I don't think. Anyways, if your nation qualified for the World Cup, where do they end up? And I'm really excited to see the the mock draw, or the real draw made by FIFA tomorrow. I hope you are as well. Thank you for watching. Bye.